Hello everyone, this is your friend, your boy, Jet Black, the one and only, here with another exciting video. And in this video, I'm going to be doing an Omnitrix loadout review. Essentially what an Omnitrix loadout is a list of 10 aliens that you would like in your own personal Omnitrix. Now in case you guys don't know what an Omnitrix is, the Omnitrix is a device that Ben 10 uses from the popular TV show Ben 10 that allows him to transform into 10 different aliens. And then later on throughout his many different series, he gains more and more aliens. But normally for a Ben 10 series, he starts off with just having 10 aliens that he can transform into. Some people call this his alien loadout. Others people call this his playlist. So I'm going to go over my personal Omnitrix loadout, what I would want if I were to have the Omnitrix. And then I'm going to review a couple fans' Omnitrix loadouts, specifically fans on the Discord. Shout out to Cowboy and shout out to Kratos for showing me their Omnitrix loadouts. So without further ado, let me go over my own Omnitrix loadout and then go over theirs and then share my thoughts on theirs. So my loadout would be Clockwork for time manipulation, Alien X for reality manipulation, Ghost Freak for intangibility/possession, Upgrade for machine augmentation and enhancement, Accelerate because he can move so fast that he literally just pauses time, Jet Ray because he can fly and swim at incredible speeds and even jump into hyperspace, meaning he's potentially moving like at faster than light speeds, Pesky Dust because Pesky Dust can make people fall asleep and control their dreams, Jury Rig because he can disassemble anything and transform it into anything that he needs for a particular situation. Shock Rock can create energy constructs of anything that he can imagine. Amphibian, low-key is one of the best aliens in the Omnitrix. He has electrokinesis, telepathy, the ability to travel through electrical currents, flight, intangibility, underwater breathing. Like Amphibian is like a whole toolbox of abilities, and I feel like a lot of people don't bring him up. But when I think of some of Ben's best aliens, Amphibian is definitely like near the top of the list. But that's my personal Omnitrix loadout. I feel like an Omnitrix loadout isn't particularly good if it doesn't, like bare minimum, have Ghost Freak and Upgrade in the loadout. The reason why I say that is because most things that you're going to encounter, like if you have like a problem in your life, are going to either involve like a problem with like technology or a problem with like a living thing. And Upgrade gives you the ability to manipulate technology, and Ghost Freak gives you the ability to manipulate like living things. So it just seems like most like situations you would end up in, you could just pick one of those two aliens and probably do okay. And they're two of like Ben's like OG aliens. They're not particularly like overpowered or anything like that. Like they're not like Clockwork or Alien X or anything. So I feel like it's kind of low risk to turn into these aliens as well. With Alien X, you have the issue of, well, what if my opponent can like absorb powers? Or what if I go mad with power because I've become like an all-powerful being? Or what if I can't debate with the different consciousnesses that exist inside of Alien X's mind and I lose control of my body or something? You know, like there are a lot of complications that come from like Alien X. And you could have similar complications with Clockwork, finding yourself maybe overwhelmed with like power or corrupted by power. Not to say that you can't be corrupted by using Ghost Freak or Upgrade. Ghost Freak especially is kind of interesting because in the show, Ghost Freak's consciousness still existed within the transformation for a while, so Ben never truly felt like himself when he was Ghost Freak early on. But I just feel like they're like easier to manage abilities that also still give you plenty of flexibility. I don't have gray matter in my loadout, which is kind of like a con, I would say. Gray matter is like a super genius. He likely can allow you to do a whole lot of hack stuff with your Omnitrix and even allow you to make your own Omnitrix. But I don't know. I personally feel like Jury Rig can kind of do a lot of what gray matter does, if not better, because gray matter is really small. You know, he needs to be able to get access to like parts in order to like construct his different contraptions. But I don't think gray matter is particularly skilled at like disassembling things in order to get those parts and I don't think gray matter is as good at like MacGyvering something together. I feel like with jury rig, if you told him that you like needed a jetpack, he could potentially like disassemble a car and reassemble the pieces into like a working ghetto jetpack, and it'd be good enough for like whatever you needed it to be. Whereas I feel like if you did the same thing with gray matter, he would be thinking about like all the different like advanced components he would need and stuff like that, and then he wouldn't necessarily have like the strength to be able to like lift all the like heavy pieces and like form them together. Like I feel like gray matter needs a lot more extra to do what jury rig already can do. But I will say I do give like top marks for having like gray matter in a loadout. So what I'm really looking for, I guess, is how flexible your loadout is. Do you seem like you're ready for any situation? Did you make sure to pick the heavy hitters that everybody's going to pick? You know, stuff like Clockwork and Alien X feel like a must, to be honest. But did you also pay attention to some of the like lesser known aliens that have like additional like buffs and bonuses that would definitely be worth having in your loadout? So enough looking at my Omnitrix loadout. Let's look at your boy Cowboy's loadout. So Cowboy went with Alien X, Clockwork, Atomics, Ghost Freak, Gravitack, Shock Rock, Way Big, Ultimate Echo Echo, Chromastone, and Brainstorm. So he said go from 10 to 1. So go from like the bottom of his list up when reviewing it. Okay, so he picked Brainstorm. I'm not sure if this was ever officially stated, but I'm pretty sure gray matter is supposed to be smarter than Brainstorm. And Brainstorm has like big crab claws. Like he's smart and he can kind of telekinetically move things around with his mind because he's able to shoot like electricity off of his brain to like move objects, I'm pretty sure. So Brainstorm definitely seems capable, but I feel like in this instance, I would probably pick someone like Jury Rig over Brainstorm. Brainstorm solves the size problem that gray matter had. I mean, that's definitely true. But I also think Brainstorm has a really obvious weakness, having like a huge exposed brain. I just feel like that seems kind of like dangerous and also kind of gross. Also, I don't know. I don't know how good Brainstorm is at creating like improvised solutions for problems. I will say Brainstorm probably has more like general intelligence than someone like Jury Rig. Jury Rig seems to be very mechanically intelligent, but I feel like Brainstorm would probably be good at like solving a math problem or just using logic and reasoning in order to work through an issue, where Jury Rig only really seems to be good at like building stuff. So maybe that's a short sight in my loadout. Maybe Brainstorm's actually better than Jury Rig, depending on the circumstances in which you're going to use it. Next up, he picked Chromastone. So Chromastone, I guess he's better than Diamond Head. I would say yeah. He just does seem better than Diamond Head. I mean, Diamond has made a Tatanite, and Tatanite's supposed to be like. I feel like sometimes they act like Tatanite's like practically indestructible or whatever, and then other times it seems like Tatanite just breaks. So I don't know. For some reason, I want to say Diamond Head's more durable than Chromastone, and we've seen Chromastone like essentially be destroyed before, but then Ben became Diamond Head once Chromastone was destroyed. It was kind of weird. Chromastone's ability to absorb and redirect energy, I think, is really powerful. Not gonna lie. But I feel like there are better aliens for like energy absorption and redirection. Like if you wanted to go absorption and redirection, then you could pick like feedback or something. That's like his main thing that he does. And if you didn't go with like feedback, maybe you want like durability, like you don't care as much about like the energy absorption stuff. The worst is Ben's like most durable alien. He can still feel pain, but he can't really be hurt by anything. So I don't think Chromastone's the best at durability, and I don't think he's the best at energy absorption. But I guess if your goal is to just kind of have both, well then this is kind of the best choice, I would say, to have both. So not bad. Next up, Ultimate Echo Echo. I think Ultimate Echo Echo is in my opinion, not a good choice at all. I think part of what makes Echo Echo so good It's the fact that you can split into like multiples of yourself. Ben once was fighting Kevin 11, and Kevin killed like every Echo that Ben had like created, and then Kevin thought he had just killed Ben and he left, only for Ben to then pop out of the trunk and say like I always keep a spare in the trunk, essentially saying that whenever Ben becomes Echo, he always stashes one of his clones away in case like all of his clones get murdered. And that's just something that Ultimate Echo just like literally can't do. Instead of cloning, he creates like these floating speaker disc that he can create like duplicates of. And I just think that's worse. Like it seems legitimately worse than just having the different cloned Echoes. The cloned Echoes also can like talk through problems with each other. Like it's good for like problem solving and like teamwork. And Ben can even do a thing where he transforms from Echo back into his normal form. But he does that for all of his clones at the same time, essentially allowing him to create clones of himself that each have operational Omnitrixes, but at like a certain percentage of their power relative to how many clones he made. So if he has 3 clones, each clone only possesses like X, like if he makes 3 clones, then they're each a third as powerful as they would normally be, kind of thing. And each clone also has their own like personality. They take like an aspect of his personality with them. Um, that's not like a perfect solution to have multiple Bens, but it could potentially like help in a pinch if Ben really needed to like team up with himself in some form or fashion. So I think Ultimate Echo is kind of like a bad move. I wouldn't go for that. Next up, he picked Waybig. I don't know if Toku stars, which are the race that Waybig is, are better than like Humongosaur's race or not. I tend to lean more toward Humongosaur than Waybig, mainly because of the fact that Waybig's main thing is that he's giant and that he can shoot like energy beams, but Humongosaur is like super strong normally, like regardless of being a giant. If you need to have an alien who's like really powerful, but you don't necessarily have the space for someone like Waybig, you can always turn into Humongosaur and stay at like a normal size and then grow when you need to, which I think is like really nice. It gives you like a level of flexibility. Humongosaur also in like the reboot has like a big like mace like on his tail that he can use to like bash through objects and like break things. So I feel like Humongosaur is a lot more flexible, but is probably a lot less powerful. Because I do think Waybig actually is more powerful than Humongosaur. Um, but I don't know. I feel like you would very rarely ever use Waybig unless you're like constantly fighting giant monsters. And if you did use Waybig all the time, it would probably be overkill and you'd probably do more damage than you would help. So I don't know. I normally would lean more toward having Humongosaur instead of Waybig, or maybe having both rather than just having Waybig. Next up, we got Shockrock. I don't have any issues with Shockrock. He's pretty strong, fairly durable. He's able to create energy constructs of anything that he can imagine, which I think he may be one of the only Ben 10 aliens that does energy constructs. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. Shockrock's a good pick. He's on my list too. Totally fine. Next up, we got Gravitack. Being able to manipulate gravity is an insanely powerful ability that has a lot of different applications. I personally am not like too crazy about like gravity manipulation needing to be a thing in your arsenal, but it's not a bad choice. I think it's interesting, the concept of having like a living planet alien. I kind of would have wished they did more with that in Omniverse, but I digress. Not a bad choice. He picked Ghost Freak. I already talked about how Ghost Freak is great. He picked Atomics, and a lot of people say that Atomics is one of Ben's like strongest aliens. They essentially have said that, like the creators of the show have said that. I kind of disagree. I don't think we've really seen Atomics do anything too crazy. He just kind of does like nuclear energy manipulation, and a lot of his moves are kind of based off of like anime character attacks. He's alright, I guess. I feel like Atomics and Energy are like very similar aliens. They almost feel a little redundant. And I don't really care too much about atomics. I mean, he's strong and he can fly and he has like radiation abilities, but I think he's just kind of there. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on atomics in the comment section below. And Alien X and Clockwork, I think, go without saying. You know, reality manipulation, time manipulation. I definitely understand their appeal and why they're in his loadout. Overall, I don't think his loadout is bad, but I will say that, like, a good few of his aliens were ones where I'm like, are you sure you want them instead of having, like, this other one kind of thing? Yeah, you know, I was kind of, like, on the fence about a lot of his choices. But overall, I don't think it's, like, a bad loadout. Not at all. Next up, we're going to check out my boy Kratos' loadout. Okay, so Kratos' loadout. Kratos, like, straight up told me, I'm going to just do your loadout, but instead of having, at one point I had Fast Track as number 9, I changed that to Shock Rock, because I saw Cowboys list, and I'm like, dang, you know, I don't even know why I didn't pick Shock Rock. Like, Shock Rock's just a good choice. But he replaced Fast Track with Big Chill. Big Chill's fine, I guess. Like, Kratos mentioned that he really likes ice aliens. He's like, I wanted like an alien with ice powers. I was like, are you sure you don't want Arctic Wana? Like, if you're just interested in ice kind of thing. But he didn't really like Arctic Wana's design. He felt like Arctic Wana looked too much like a fish. I was surprised that he said like a fish, because Arctic Wana I've always thought of as being like a lizard guy. But to be honest, if he wanted an ice alien, Big Chill's the best option. Like, he's not wrong in picking Big Chill. Big Chill has flight and tangibility. He also can like freeze his opponents with like his, I would say freezing breath, but sometimes I don't think he necessarily breathes on people to freeze them. I can't remember if he can shoot ice from his hands or not, or if it's always freeze breath. But Big Chill is pretty powerful. The only real downside to Big Chill is that when you turn into Big Chill, Ben ended up in a situation where he gave birth as Big Chill. Like, Big Chill's actually like a female transformation. And while he was like getting ready to give birth, he couldn't really control himself. He was like compulsively eating metal, and he wasn't able to like restrain himself. It's like his instincts kicked in. I don't really like the idea of turning into an alien where at any moment you could potentially like lose control of yourself. I'm also curious if we're ever going to see Benton's kids again, because we see Kenton a good bit, like Ben's like human son, but I don't think we've ever seen Ben's Big Chill like children ever show back up. But I'm curious what they're up to. Anyways, what do you guys think? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and on our Discord. Thank you all for tuning in. Let me know if you guys want me to do more of these Omnitrix loadout reviews. I need more Omnitrixes to review if you guys want that. But hey, this is your host, your friend, your boy, Jip like the one only. Log it out. Peace, guys. Chicken about.